He's doing the 10th project from Inspire Your Audience. What is the idea about this project? Stanisław is supposed to connect with you, with your emotions, with your fears, maybe with some concerns, and tell you and prove it actually to you that they are inadequate and it's time to change them. He is supposed to motivate you to change. He's going to use a lot of emotions for that, anecdotes and stories. But there's also a very important thing to say about Stanisław. We've cooperated some time. And there are 3 things that I really like about Stan. He's a great friend because he shared his experience and knowledge with me just to make me grow. Only good friends do that. Second thing, he's patient and hardworking. When we were shooting my video, Dots of Life, I've messed up hundreds of times. But Stan was there, okay, and saying, relax, we'll do it again. Editing those couple of minutes must have been a horror. The third thing I really like him for is his craziness and innovative way of thinking. When we were shooting a video in the forlorn harbor, and we didn't have anything to put on the microphone, we used a red Sekin case for a vodka bottle. I know it sounds crazy, you should see it. That is Stan. But now, let's see what Stan has more to offer and what stories he bears inside. Stan Svica, in his 10th project, summing up the competent communicator, bounce back, Stanisław Svica.
Falling to the bottom is a terrible thing, but you can use this thing as the source of your energy. Let me tell you a story. In 2013, I was living with my mom in Italy, and we decided to visit our friend in other city, Torino. It's a beautiful city, it was the end of the summer, and the most important thing for me was that I will meet a guy from Ukraine. The guy like me, the guy I can connect with, which was lacking for me while I was in Italy. So we went there by bus, we were riding for 6 hours, I was so excited. We arrived, and what do I see? I wait for 1 hour, the guy doesn't come down, he's in his room. I wait for 2 hours, we have dinner, he doesn't come down for dinner. So the night comes. During this time I ask his mother what's up, and she says, oh, he's busy, he doesn't feel so well. I go to sleep upstairs, and his room is next to my room. So I decide, I've ridden all this way to meet this guy, to talk with him in Ukrainian language, in my native tongue, and to connect. But I cannot do this. And I decided to make a move. I knocked on the door and waited. Few moments of silence, few moments of some noises and fumbling inside. I knocked again, and in a few seconds the door opened. The room was dark, the curtains were closed, and even though the sun didn't come down all the way, it was almost totally dark, and only the computer screen gave some blue light on the room. The room was a total mess, and the guy looked like a total mess. So I said, hi, how are you? I'm Stan, I'm also from Ukraine. What you doing here? He's like, oh, I'm not feeling too well, you know. I need to do something on my computer, can we meet later? I was like, okay, maybe I shouldn't interrupt. But then I decided, no. I said, yes, I will let you return to your work, but just tell me, how did you arrive here? And he said, oh, actually, my mother brought me here, I didn't want to do this, and I kind of don't enjoy this place. And I said, I understand exactly how you feel. And at that moment I understood that I looked in his eyes and I knew that something is similar between us and we can connect. And I said, I have the same situation. I came here because I didn't want to come. And he said, how come? We started talking and we connected. And I said, let me introduce you to my Facebook. And I invited him to my computer. I showed him this picture and said, who do you think this is? And after this, I started telling my story. I understood that I can help this guy somehow. So I was the usual student. I was living in Wrocław. I was having fun with my friends, drinking beers. Just everyday life was so awesome, but something was lacking inside me. It was like I didn't have a purpose that I could really commit to and go forward to every day. So even though I was a normal guy, one day I felt a fever. And I thought that I caught a cold from drinking beer on the river bank on the warm but not so warm day of May. I went to the doctor and he said, please do an X-ray of your lungs. I went to the X-ray doctor and for half an hour he examined my picture. I didn't know what's up. And then he said, please go to the hospital nearby, say that you feel bad, say that you're dying. I was like, okay, I can do that, I guess. And it was so weird for me because it happened like it was in a movie, not with me. So I didn't feel quite bad, but I didn't know. I was really lost in this situation. So after a while, the whirlpool of situation caught me. MRI, blood tests, talk with the surgeon, call from mom, plane to Italy, and then was a biopsy. And the doctor came and said, sir, you have lymphoma non-Hodgkin with big cells, B-type cells. But you have a 60% probability of surviving. I was like, okay, that's great. I guess it's cool. So after that, the situation went forward. The whirlpool of emotions, of decisions, of isolation. I couldn't talk to people. And you know, scientists say that there are some things that all cancer patients go through, like depression, loss of pleasure, weight loss or gain, fatigue, loss of energy, feeling of worthlessness. So here was I, after 6 months, lying in the bed, feeling like the whirlpool of life pressed me to the bottom of the river, and I cannot even breathe. I didn't want to even look at the sun outside. I didn't want my mother to open the curtains. I didn't want to talk with her. But then I thought, and I recollected the situation from my childhood. It was a summer night. We were near the river bank with my family, and there was a river nearby. My uncle, Vitaly, he said, do you want to know a fun fact? I said, sure. He says, can you see these whirlpools on the river? I said, yes. What's with them? He said, it's really dangerous because if you get caught, you can die in them. And I said, wow, how do you survive it? He said, the thing is that you cannot struggle. You have to let go, let it press you to the bottom of the river, and then you push as hard as you can to the side, and then you come out and somebody can give you a helping hand. So at this moment, when I was lying in the bed, I decided that I cannot continue like this. I have to make a decision. So I made a decision. I made a decision to apply small steps and get better. I started small. I just got up from bed. I made my bed. Then I got into meditation. I asked for a therapist. I went to do some sports. I went to communicate with my friends. And That's why I want to say that after that, here I am. I feel great. I have so many friends. The Toastmasters actually was one of the steps, the small steps on my journey to my goal. I don't have this feeling of no purpose anymore. I have a dream. I have a job that I enjoy doing every day. I have beautiful clients and awesome friends. And my clients become my friends become my clients. And this is so awesome. And guys, what I want to say to you that you don't have to be terminally ill or really sick to get caught up in the whirlpool. You have a whirlpool of daily routine, of bad emotions, of wrong decisions, of wrongdoing from your friends. But you can also always bounce back. You can just decide in a moment that you will do a small step and push yourself upstairs. And then somebody can reach you and help you. And after that, I want to encourage you to share your story, because sharing your story has the power to change. You may wonder what happened with my friend that I met in Italy. Actually, now he goes out of his room. He actually finds the work in the grocery store on the other side of the street. His mother is really happy, and she thanked me that I talked with him, and it was an impulse for him to bounce back. So guys, do it. Just bounce back from a difficult situation. Make small decisions, small steps. Then get the helping hand and share your story. As I hope my friend shares his story right now to help others. When you share your story, you have a power to change.